everyone, pinch of salt here. I have just made a gypsy tart, so I'm just going to go through how I made it with you. So gypsy tart is a Kentish tart. It does origin from Kent, and it is a very sweet sugary dessert, and it is my favourite dessert to make and my favourite dessert to eat, and it is so simple to make. So I'm just going to go through that. So you need a pastry base. I cheat, I don't make pastry, so I've bought a ready rolled short crust pastry, and I've popped it in a flan tin, a deeper one the better, and I lined it and I part baked it in the oven with some beads or pasta, whatever you use, your baking beads, and I just follow the instructions on how to bake it in the oven, and then you've got your pastry case. You then need a tin of evaporated milk and a tin of condensed milk and some dark brown soft sugar. So the amount of evaporated milk I used was 170 mils, which is 6 fluid ounces, and the condensed milk, sorry, I'll say that again. So the evaporated milk, I used 170 ml, 61 fluid ounces. The condensed milk, which is the sweetened condensed, I used 230 mils, which was 8 fluid ounces. And then you need dark brown sugar. You can use muscovado sugar, or you can just use the dark brown sugar. And it was 175 grams or 6 ounces of that. Pop them all in your mixer. You will need a mixer because you have to mix it. Mine, I mixed for at least 20 minutes. It can take longer. And what you want it is, you want it to go pale and a nice thick consistency like that. So as you can see, it's still dripping. There's no sugar. It's slightly still granulated, but you can taste that most of the sugar has been mixed in, and sometimes it can take longer than others. Sometimes it can take 20 minutes, sometimes it can take 15 minutes, but you need it to meet that consistency. So it's nice and soft. Most of the sugar has been like all ground down, so it's not too gritty, and it's nice, got a nice sort of thick pouring consistency. Then all you do is pour that mixture into your flan case, and you can bake it in your oven. Now you need to really make sure that your oven, every oven's different. My oven, I knocked it right down to just under about 170. It does say 190 degrees C, or gas mark 5, or 375 Fahrenheit, but you know your ovens. I mean, my oven is quite a vicious oven, so I turned it down to about 180 centigrade. I kept an eye on it. I never leave it. I check it, because sometimes it will take 15 minutes, sometimes it will take 20 minutes. So you have to keep checking it. And when it starts feeling solid, but a little still a little bit wobbly, that's the time to take it out. If you overcook it, it will separate it. So make sure, I never left the kitchen at all. I was pottering about, and I just kept open every 5 minutes, open the oven, check it, shut the oven. So it all depends on your oven. But I done it at 180 degrees centigrade. If you've got a gas oven, put it on gas 5. Or 375 Fahrenheit. So just check it until it's wobbly. It can sometimes take up to 30 minutes, but it won't normally. Mine took about, just short of 15 minutes, about 12 minutes. So it all depends on your oven. So once you've done that, pull it out and let it cool. So I've let this cool for about 45 minutes. It's still a little bit warm, but it has cooled, and you can see when you cut it, it's all creamy. And this is how I like to serve it. I like to have it with a few chopped apples. It reminds me of school, when I went to school, and that's how they used to serve it for a dessert for school. So, I mean, give it a try. If you know, it's a very, very sweet dessert. So if you don't like desserts that are very sweet, you won't like this one. But if you love a very sweet dessert, give it a go. So that's my Gypsy tart. Give it a go. I hope you enjoy it. It's so easy to make, but you will need to use a balloon mixer. Obviously, I use my Kenwood with a balloon whisk, and that is the most important thing to do. You must whisk it until it's really, really at that consistency. So just make sure it is this consistency, and that you keep an eye on it in the oven. I mean, it's hit and miss. When I first started making it, I did have a few like mistakes. I'm like, oh, that doesn't look right. But now I've got it quite right. So you give it a go, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Bye.